One of the most common reasons that I'm contacted is to help people with recall training. Now, when people come to me, they're actually quite surprised that we spend a lot of time looking at how to switch a dog off inside before we even go outside. This isn't something that you can just do, that you can just practice a variety of recall techniques and there we are, your dog's going to recall. Your dog's only going to recall if they find you more interesting than the environment and they've been taught to switch off to distractions within the environment. So we start off indoors and then gradually increase the impulse control. Now, when we move out, there are so many different things that we can do, so many activities that you want to make yourself, as I said, more interesting than the environment. So we can teach them to touch your hand with their nose. We can use tools such as tug toys and balls for play and fetch and things like that. So there's a lot that comes into it. But all I'm going to touch upon in this video is the difference between doing specific recall training and focus training. Now, a very close friend of mine managed to pass my basic, intermediate, then advanced obedience, okay? So my courses are all designed to be able to take your dog wherever you want and to have them obedient to you. It's not about having them glued to your side, standing up to you in a competitive way, but you would be expected during the advanced course, part of what you'd be expected to do would be to place your dog in a sit, walk away 20 meters, drop them into a down, walk away another 20 meters, recall past a bowl of food, a tennis ball, a football, and a tug toy. And after they've recalled past the distractions, they have to do an emergency stop and drop it into a down. And then you go back and put the lead on them, okay? So this close friend of mine then contacted me and said, right, Carl, can you explain to me why I was able to pass your advanced obedience? However, I've just let my dog off down in Pontardawe and I've been able to catch her for 2 hours. And I explained to my friend that there's a big difference between when a dog knows it's actually working and when it's free roaming. So the way that I explain this is we're rugby mad in this house. So when my children are playing rugby in a competitive game and there's a structure and there's a referee, they adhere to the rules, okay? So it's far more structured there. Take the exact same sport and place it into a park where they're playing with their friends, where the rules are up for grabs. There's no referee. The out of bounds aren't quite highlighted with white lines and things like that. And all of a sudden, as I say, the rules are up for grabs. That's the exact same thing with your dog. All the obedience work you can do is only going to help. All the different sporting activities that you can do with the agility or IPO training and literally the world is your oyster. You can find there's something there for everybody. However, that's completely different to being able to just let them off in a public area and knowing that whenever you call them, they're instantly going to come back to you. So what I do, I mix up calling them at set times and I will do certain things to make myself more appealing. I may use a tool or something like that. But the majority of the time, I don't call them. And the biggest issue that I deal with is people constantly calling their dogs. So what I want to get into a position of walking, and whenever I go, my dogs are focused on where I'm going. So if I go right, I want them to come right. If I go left, I want them to just generally keep me within their eyesight, okay? So I start off on a long lunge lead, and if they go too far, I wait and wait and wait, and as soon as they look at me, I'll turn and walk the opposite way. And then as they're coming towards me, I'll turn and mark with the clicker, give the treat, go on, away you go, and then we keep moving around. Now, at that time, that's focus training. Anytime that they're walking and then they glance up and they just give me a bit of eye contact, I'll mark. And next thing you know, they're back at my side because they're looking for me rather than me looking for them. So what I want you to do is to take a look at these videos. They're only brief videos that I'm going to add onto here and watch how a puppy that I've been working with, starting off with minimal distraction, but look at how when she glances at me, that's when I mark and then she's back. Then I may call her, and if she comes, I'm going to mark her for that. Then I bring in the added distraction of bring my dogs out with her. So there's more excitement and things like that. Then we're going to progress to being in the middle of a field with 15 dogs all together socializing, a lot of excitement. And then I call her once, and the other time I wait for her to look at me, and I'll mark both of those. So have a look and see what you think.
She's familiar with. Each day that she's been with me, we practice here, we practice in different locations, we practice over the park. what I want you to see is that when I move in, she moves. There, see how she glanced back? I mark, and then I tell her, go on, away you go. She goes. So she's got the distraction of the other dogs that want to come and join in. But this is our little one-to-one training area. And I'm going to ignore, I could be marking. Initially I was marking a lot more. But what I want is this, look, while she's interested, I'll keep walking. And I need her to turn around and look up, there. And there she is. Great job, good girl. Now we're going to up the excitement level by letting two of my dogs come out and join in. And there's going to be excitement because Stitch is nuts for his mother. So he's going to be trying to play with Lilo, and then Esme will get excited. Bye, Brina. What up, guys? This is Lilo and Stitch. Esme with them. And it's no different whether we've got one dog or three dogs. Whichever direction I walk in. Hey, Rolo! Shush, bye. Sure. If I turn right, they turn right. Glancing back. See how Lilo's glancing? And there's Esme as part of them. And now I'll go this way. Yeah, Stitch has gone a little bit further. And there he looked. So we've got a lot more distractions here. A lot of playing going on. A lot more excitement. And there she is. Enjoying chasing names. So what you're going to look at here is the time that I'm going to call her for this one, and then the next time I'll mark her for focusing on me. So two different things. So here, Esme, come. Good girl. And then off we go. So she was busy doing something there, so we built up the distraction gradually, and we called in amongst all the excitement, and I had to call her. So this time, there she is. Now let's look. When she glances at me, there. See how she's back again? Good job, girl. So some of you will be familiar with the fact that Esme's been staying with me for a variety of reasons. Jumping up and mouthing and stealing things and then locking her jaw and not giving it back and all these different things. And you'll be familiar with the video where I've taught her to come and place her head on my hands, because whenever she meets somebody, she's jumping up and hitting into them or grabbing them or something like that. Now what I want to show you is that for this video we're talking about recall training, and there's so much we can talk about, but I just want you to see that a simple technique such as tell her to come and place her head in my hands can also be a training aid when it comes to recall. So, Esme. So, as you saw, another activity that you can do. So not only is it going to help her with meeting and greeting people respectfully, it's another thing that's going to make me more interested in the environment. And anytime I say, Esme, come and say hello, she comes and places her head in my hands. So there are some small little tips to help you with your recall training. Mark them when they look at you, when they focus on you. If they go too far, if you're using a longer lead, if they go too far, wait. When they turn and look at you, walk away from them, because you want them thinking that, well, I was going this way. You want them to be engaged in what you were doing. When they make a beeline for you, then turn and mark as they get closer. Click, treat, go on then, away, send them away from there. Make sure, another little hint that I've done with all my dogs, when I make them come towards me, I will always smooth down the head towards the collar and then send them away, because a lot of people will call their dog when they come. They'll give the treat, the dog takes a treat, turns and runs. But if every time they come, I smooth and touch the collar, then I click, then I treat, they never know when I'm going to hold the collar to put the lead on. So I don't get this problem of the dog working out, oh, we must be going then. So give it a try. Let me know how you get on.